Mrs. Possum was getting a little testy. She had been sending Mr. Possum down to the pond to get frogs because she wanted frogs' legs for supper. Now, he'd been down there several days and he had come home empty-handed. So this time she said, "Mr. Possum, if you don't come back with frogs, don't bother to come back." Okay. So he went down to the edge of the pond. Now, see, the problem is that all of these frogs had gotten used to this. They saw him coming. They went out into the pond and sat on the pond lilies, and they just looked because they knew he wouldn't come into the water. Well, he looked and he thought, she said, "I've got to come home with some frogs because she wants frog legs for supper. Oh, what am I going to do?" Well, about that time, Rabbit comes along. "What's the matter, Possum?" "Well, see, Mrs. Possum says I gotta get some frogs because she wants frog legs, and if I don't find some, then she says don't bother to come home." I know she doesn't mean it, but still, it doesn't feel good. "Ah," Rabbit says, "I know just exactly what to do." He says, "You go down there in the sand along the edge of the pond, and all of a sudden just drop down on your back with your feet up like this and just lay there and play dead, okay?" "Oh, I know how to do that." Yeah. So he goes down to the pond and he's in the sand along the edge and he flops over and there he's laying there dead. Well, not really, but he's playing dead. All of a sudden the frogs come out of the pond. They're looking at him and they're looking. And you're thinking, if he's dead, we got to bury him. How do we do that? So Rabbit comes over and he says, "You need help, guys?" And he said, "Yeah, we can't leave him like this. We got to bury him." "Yeah, that's a good idea." "Well, I tell you, you know how long it has to be and you know how wide because he's laying right there. You just start digging and when you get down to the right depth, I'll let you know." "Oh, okay." So they go and they get their little shovels and they come out and they're digging and throwing the sand away, and all of a sudden they get down about this far and one big bullfrog gets up and he says, "Are we deep enough yet?" No, you sure you're not, because he jumped out of there. You keep digging." So they go back to digging and they get it down quite a bit further, and the bullfrog hollers up, "Are we deep enough yet?" Rabbit says, "Can you jump out?" Boink. "Nope, not deep enough yet. Keep going." So he jumps back in and they're digging and throwing the stuff as high as they can get to get up in the piles around the would-be grave. Finally, Bullfrog says, "Hey, are we deep enough yet?" Rabbit says, "Can you jump out?" "No." "Yep, you're deep enough. Come on, Possum. There's your frogs."